Guess what? I don't know what you've been through, but I do know that no matter what you've been through, there's probably a really good chance that you now have a concept of who you are based on everything that you have survived through, endured, overcome, barely made it through, survived through. And that's your concept. That's who you see yourself as. Not even looking in the mirror. That's just who you think you are, right? And so if somebody that has been through a tremendous amount of shit, and I guarantee you that's you're listening to this, we're on the same page there. Do I know exactly everything you've been through? No. But I can tell you the common denominator with everything that I am trying to communicate through my lens of and my experience of healing comes universally applicable, meaning you can apply what I have seen work in my life into your life. But first and foremost, you have to give yourself permission to open up your mind, to receive a new perspective. And the thing is I know I'm hearing a lot of little boys inside of grown-ass men commenting about their pain and their suffering, and I can't do this, and you got to hear all the bad things that happened to me. And I'll listen to you for an amount of time to get out all the things, because I think that's just, I think genuinely what I think most of us desire is to feel seen, right, for who we are, who we see ourselves as, and to be heard. When we do figure out how to express it, and I'm telling, one of the biggest areas that men need to grow and develop, and this is what I am trying to convey to you, is we need to develop two things. You need to truly expand your emotional vocabulary, right? And I'll start to talk about that a lot more in terms of the emotional wheel. It is huge. There's a lot of emotions out there. It ain't just angry, mad, happy, and sad. It's not just that. Those are the fundamental ones that we identify with, and think about it. 3 out of the 4 are negative. So the chances are that you're obviously it takes 3 times more positivity to overcome your negativity. But first, you have to expand your emotional vocabulary. And second, you need to learn how to communicate what you are truly feeling. And this is something, man, that just, it's because of the channel, it's because of your energy, my energy, everyone that's contributing to the Results Kill Excuses mindset, that this came through to me. And it's like, it's mind-blowing. But can you give yourself permission to just take a step back from the emotions? I realized this, and I talked about it in a longer video that I posted earlier today, but it's towards the end. I think it's at about the 23 minutes. Here's what I realized. Most men, we do not lack the emotional intelligence that we need, and we need to be more self-aware. And what does that mean? Emotional intelligence means that you understand how you are truly feeling inside, not how you are expressing your feelings. Here's an example. Throughout my history, I see this pattern so stinking clear. As clear as this blue sky behind me. Throughout my life, because of the trauma that I experienced, 0 to 10 years old primarily, right? Like life or death type shit. The truth is the inner child, we'll call him little Gregory, was absolutely scared. He was afraid of the world. Why? Because all he experienced on a regular, habitual basis was his father beating the shit out of his mom, right? The violence, the verbal abuse, right? I mean, up until literally like guns pointed, like beat downs, wild shit. And here's just this little baby freaking out, doesn't know what's going on. So just terrified, right? Stress hormones coming in while I was in the womb still. This shit happens to us, guys. And yet, so I'm just letting you know that my baseline emotion was, as a little inner child, was I was afraid of the world. I was just afraid. And the only thing that made me feel safe was when the violence ended, my mom would grab me, wrap me in her arms, and we would both be crying, right? And just exhausted. But that gave me comfort. Thus, that made me feel safe. And so, if I fast forward into relationships, dating, if the relationship was ever starting to get destabilized, or there was ever a hint that I was upsetting a woman, that she could possibly vacate the relationship, walk out of my life, right? That would trigger the fear inside of me because I was afraid of losing her. And so I was feeling afraid. But you have to realize I'm a wounded, emotional guy in this state, and thus my emotional intelligence was very limited. I didn't want to recognize that I was feeling afraid. Thus, here's the kicker. Please try and lean in on this. Stay tuned if you're kind of connecting with this, because this is revolutionary, and I'm going to continue to develop how to communicate this. So you got to figure, my baseline emotion is being afraid. I'm scared. And that gets triggered when I'm thinking that a woman's going to abandon me, because I had abandonment wounds from when my mom remarried. And thus, if I felt really threatened, right, I would either self-sacrifice or I would lash out. I would get angry and I'd push this person away, because here's what I was doing subconsciously. Listen to this. And this is where we get labeled as abusers and all this stuff. But here's what's really happening, because we're wounded and we don't know how to communicate. So if my baseline is being afraid and my expressed emotion is anger, a man like me being angry towards a woman that's upset with me about something, and I'm afraid that she's gonna walk out, but I'm expressing anger, how is that gonna make that person feel? As a man with a woman, how will that make that woman feel? It's gonna make them feel afraid. So this is how a wounded man tells somebody how they're feeling. Did you catch that? I hope I'm working on getting this right, because this is what's going on here. It's clear. Because I didn't know how to say, hey, honey, I'm really scared about this situation. I can see I've upset you. Can we take some time? Can we both go cool down? I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling unloved. I'm sorry, but I didn't have those words. You see how simple it would have been just to kind of be self-aware, emotionally intelligent to be able to do that. I can do that now. I absolutely have. This is what I have healed, where I have expanded my emotional intelligence and I have become self-aware to be able to communicate in words what is going on and how I'm feeling authentically. Versus in the past, the wounded version of me said, I need this person to feel how I feel. And I'm feeling afraid, I need them to feel afraid. And how do I make someone feel afraid? By getting angry. It's fucking nuts, man. And think about how much suffering, think about how many broken relationships, think how much fucking pain people are carrying around, because especially men, we don't have emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Well, I'm here to help you to develop this. But it's going to take you saying, I want the help. And if you're ready to ask for help, reach out. New email. If you've been watching, listen, new email, greg@resultskillexcuses.com. Email me. I got 3 requirements. 1, you have the courage to reach out and ask for help. 2, you book a session with me, no charge. And 3, you show the fuck up. Right? And we're gonna dig in to try and figure out some actionable steps that you can take. And yes, I will challenge you. That is the point. If you're just gonna think you're gonna show up and just kind of like blame everything on someone else, no. I'll let you kind of get your frustration out, kind of hear the story, but I need you to focus on you. We're gonna look in the mirror, not out the window. You need to take your power back, and I'm gonna show you how. I can show you how. And if you're looking for a place to do this right now, Results Kill Excuses, in your app store, download the app and start putting in the work. I'm so proud of the people that are saying, hey man, I'm putting in the work. I'm doing the courses and I'm getting some incredible feedback, and I would love for your feedback to also be a part of this, because I know that if you invest in yourself, you're guaranteed to have the results. You're guaranteed results. This stuff should be top priority, right? This should matter to you. But if you have this mindset that you are so stuck saying, I can't do this, because you are locked into your current and your past circumstances. So you literally have limiting beliefs. This is really tough when we have limiting beliefs that are holding us back from our truest potential. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of a guy named Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. This guy got fucking hit on a bike by a motor vehicle, and his whole entire fucking spine, lower spine, shattered to pieces. Shattered, you guys. And he had the option to get the halo and go through the entire like spinal surgery to repair his spine. And for some reason, he had been studying the quantum realm and the ability to heal through the mind. And this guy literally healed his spine. He reconstructed his spine by going into a meditative state of being. And this shit may seem, no fucking way, man. Go look it up. It's a miracle. And so are you. That's the cool thing. But you don't think you're a miracle. You think you're identified by your past experiences that have left you feeling the way you feel. And I'm here to tell you, it's time to let that go. It's time to give yourself a tiny little bit of space. Give yourself a tiny little bit of space, this much. And I will insert my confidence and my beliefs, right, into that space to help you to open and expand your possibilities. You're holding yourself back. Just ask yourself, what if this guy knows what he's talking about? What do you have to lose? Or is it that it's so scary that you could actually fulfill something that would give you a total fulfillment in life, and all of this pain and all of this can't and all of this I'm not good enough and all of this it's too late for me, right? All of that has to get thrown out the fucking window. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if everything you believed was a lie? That you have been telling yourself lies. You are believing lies in order to just feel a sense of normalcy. Feel a sense of just, this is what life feels like to me. And it's so sad. As I said, happy, mad, angry, sad. 4 of those emotions are negative. Happy. When was the last time you genuinely felt happy? And yet when I talk about, feeling like a millionaire, what about feeling healthy? What about feeling 20 years younger? That's impossible. I can't do that. I got this illness and that illness and all that. I'm telling you, I can show you the fountain of youth. I've got the fountain of youth. I slayed the dad bod. The program I'm talking about here isn't just getting in shape, isn't just making money. It starts on the inside. It's literally healing your mind, healing your emotions, connecting with God in the spirit, And I'm not preaching a religion, I'm talking about spirituality. And if you don't believe that you are a spirit having a human experience, I can show you a way for you to prove it to yourself, right? Reach out, greg@resultskillexcuses.com. I can show you how to prove it to yourself. I believe in this so much. It's a guaranteed. You prove it to yourself. I don't need to prove it to you. I will show you what to do, and then you will do it. And you're going to be like, oh, come on, that's crazy. And then I'm going to say, well, do it again. If you think that's crazy, do it again. And if you're interested in what this is, reach out to me, greg@resultskillexcuses.com. This is my calling. It is my time. I'm so grateful to be alive, and I have completely transformed all these limiting beliefs, all of these relationships. You think about it, everything you believe is a relationship, right? What you believe about love, what you believe about success, what you believe about health, what you believe about life, what you believe about death, you name it, you have a belief. And what you believe is what you are getting. So it's, if you say I can't and you say I can, you are correct. And that's the truth. But I can show you something far greater than your limits, far greater than your can'ts. I can show you how you can, but you have to open up your mind. You have to give yourself permission. Take me up on my offers. I am challenging you, and that's a beautiful thing. We need to be challenged. That's what helps us grow. If you haven't really seen your life growing, right, in positive directions, not just growing old, you guys. I'm not talking about growing old. I'm talking about spiritual growth. I'm talking about life and being more fulfilled. Feeling happy, genuinely saying, I love who I see in the mirror. I love who I am. I can't believe, right? The only thing that you should, well, you shouldn't even say that. You should say, deep down inside, I knew I could do this. And I'm glad I ran into that guy on YouTube talking all this shit to inspire me to reach out, get some help, put in the work, and truly become the greatest version of myself. Become the greatest version of yourself, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you to everyone that's communicating. Look, man, even when the people comment from a victim mindset, I still want to support that. The days of tearing each other down as men, we got to kind of let that go. I mean, I'm the biggest shit talker out there, but I know it's not beneficial, because I can see and spiritualize what's really happening. I think that when somebody is either even just talking shit on me, or it's the analogy that I gave. I'm hurting, I get angry so they can hurt, so they can feel what I'm feeling. So someone's being an ass, someone's being a victim. I believe in my heart that it's asking for help. You're asking for help if that's the only thing you can do. You're just trying to get a little attention because you don't know how to say, hey, I need help. I'm telling you, ask for help. You're worthy of it. You are truly worthy of getting help. But you need to realize you have to be able to self-rescue, right? I'll throw you the raft. I'll even help you paddle a little bit. But at the end of the day, you got to be willing to put in the work necessary. And it really just starts with opening up your mind. And I know so many of you are going to get broken down, because if everything you believed was a lie, what would that do to your image of self? What would that do to your stability and understanding of life? If everything you've believed is not true, but it's given you enough comfort that you're just kind of getting through one day after the next. Life is way better than that. Doing life versus life doing you. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.